Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm the founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation, and we're coming here to you for our second time in our new studio office. I'm just so excited about this. I was excited after our show last week, which kind of sounds crazy that I'm excited and I'm talking about suicide, but I'm excited. It's really great. I want to thank Area 52 Media Group and John um, for helping us get set up and still producing the show and getting out this information. We have a lot of new things coming up. One thing I really like about taping from here is I have my desk and I have this picture of Bobby. Let's see if you can see it. Sitting on my desk. This is when he was building it was supposed to be for our rabbits. We were going to raise rabbits at one time, but there it is. I forgot I did send it to you. And so him and his buddies were building this big old rabbit coop, and our rabbit endeavor didn't really last very long because we couldn't butcher him. It was an awful mess. And so our rabbits back then just lived to be old age until they died. Now it's our chicken coop, or my chicken coop, while ours. Um, but I can have things like that all around. I have something else here too. I'm going to show you about. I'm going to show you later. So first, that was first picture of Bobby. Second, this week has been absolutely crazy since we did our last show. I went down, and it was the first time I went down to just, I would say participate, but I didn't really participate. I just went down and sat and looked around. Area 52 Media Group was at the Tampa Bay Convention Center for the Tampa Bay Home Show during the past weekend. And so I was standing there, that's John in the cowboy hat, doing some interviews. They were interviewing people at the home show, and I noticed on the monitors, they were showing the shows. They were rolling through. And our show came up. So I took some pictures of our show rolling through. I thought that was really pretty cool. So that was a fun experience. It was an all weekend. I just went down for a few hours, but it was fun. It was nice to see how they do things, in a setting like this, and got to meet a couple of the other people John works with in the area, and so it was nice. One of the guys who, to me, he's a kid, but super nice guy. And this happened. It was rolling in my head because it happens often when people find out that we're doing a show or a podcast, whatever you want to call it, and they ask what the subject matter is. And I always kind of, and I don't know why I do this. I really don't. I don't know if it's fear for myself or protection for them, or I really don't know. But they ask what our show is about, and I just kind of look at them, and the first thing in my head, I was like, I don't know if you really want to know. And so I was talking to this kid, and he asked me, and so I said, it's about suicide. And I typically get the same reaction. Oh. But then we talk, and they get it, and they get more information and more knowledge and more education. And by the time we're done talking, they feel way more comfortable about it. So, and that's a goal here also, is not to make, but to have people understand more and get more comfortable talking. I've been out going to different groups, speaking a couple times, talking to different people. I'm really getting out of my comfort zone a lot. Even doing this right here, was way out of my comfort zone. Well, it was to even start with 3 years ago, but um, it's good, and I can see some of the changes being good, and with the things that we're doing. So mostly what I've been doing this week, besides having panic attacks and anxiety attacks because I'm still repainting our living room to completely change it, and I just get, oh, I don't know why, because it's going to be so nice, but it's changing from the old to the new, and it it's been a difficult thing. But in between times, I've been out in the community promoting and it's coming up by the time it'll be a week and a half, and the class will probably be closed or close to being closed when this airs. So if you're interested, still just contact us just in case. We have the mental health first aid class coming up April 3rd, that we're partnering with BayCare to bring to the community. We've had a really good response to this, so I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to offer a second one in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. But this will be at the Hilton Garden Inn, 54 and the Suncoast, which is where we hold Art for Hope every year. The people at the Hilton Garden Inn are awesome to us, and they do whatever they can to help the foundation and help us bring information and whatever we do to the community. And I cannot say enough about them. I was getting an email back and forth about what were we going to do for lunches for the people that are going to attend, because it is an all-day event. It's from 8:30 to 4:30. But we're going to include lunch. The foundation is sponsoring the lunch also, so that if maybe we can have it a working lunch, we might be able to get out a little bit earlier. I have Rotary that night too, and there was some talk about that when I first presented it, but oh well, it's all right. So anyways, so the chef there is awesome, so I just said, let's just do it simple. Let's do the box lunches, and let the have chef, let him figure out what he's going to do for the box lunches. He does good. We just let him do whatever he wants to do, and he comes through every time. He's really good. So that's April 3rd, at the Hilton Garden Inn from 8:30 to 4:30. It's a Wednesday, so it's coming up here pretty fast. And you can put that back up because we're going to talk about that. Also, we just started sending these out yesterday. Our Survivors of Suicide Grief Support Group. This is a group. It's going to be a peer-led support group for families, friends, coworkers, any other loved ones who has lost anyone to suicide. It's going to be at the Gulfview Square Mall, and it's at the what do you call it? The event center entrance, from 6:30 to 7:30. We sent it. It'll be on all the pages on the website. We sent it out to the Pasco County Sheriff's Office yesterday, and a couple other people. Actually, I just did this all up the other day. So if anybody is interested or has any questions, just give me a call or email me here at the foundation. Or I think I put the info at bobbywhitefoundation.org. Yeah. Email me there, or the phone number, the 727-859-3768. And again, all this stuff will be on the Facebook pages and the website. So if you don't want to write it down like right now, we'll have it available for you. So we're really excited about that. The community is really beginning to be excited about it. The organizations that we're starting to let them know. So we're starting to roll this out so we can get ready for the first group here in West Pasco. I still have to get a hold of the people over on the east side of the county, and hopefully I'll have some information shortly. See if they're going to do it. I was supposed to meet with a gal up in Hernando County. We're going to start one up there, but it's just been so crazy. So hopefully her and I will meet up next week and start the ball rolling for the Hernando County group. Feedback that I've been getting is that it's something that this is really something that's really needed in our community, and I agree. But we want it's going to be kind of weird because I've ran groups before, networking groups, not support groups, but several of them at several different times. And but I remember a long time ago when Bobby and I first moved up here to Newport Richey, he had just been diagnosed with MS, and we did not know what our future was going to be. This was in 1991. Actually, April 1st will be 32 years that we moved up here. And I know it's my producer's and his wife's anniversary too. And so happy anniversary ahead of time. But anyway, so we moved up here and after his MS diagnosis. And my mother-in-law, they had a support group for MS. And my mother-in-law and I would go. I would not ever let Bobby go. But it was the most depressing thing in the world. These people were just, they were on the wrong path. And I know that it was supposed to be a good thing, but it was just so negative. And I understood what they were going through because at that time Bobby's MS was really bad. He hadn't been able to work in almost a year, and but we finally we quit going because it was just way too depressing. And then I remember when we went and I let them know that Bobby and I were going to get married. And again, it was just so negative. Why are you going to marry him? He has MS. It's, going to be bad, blah, blah, blah. And I just didn't get it. Because that's just not the kind of person that I was. So, and that's why I wouldn't let him go. I didn't want him to be exposed to that type of negativity in an environment like that. So with our support group is our goal, between Teresa and I, my co-facilitator, is to try and make this, like we do Art for Hope, an uplifting time, a time to support others, to help each other, let people know that they don't have to go through this horrible new life by themselves. Other people are going through it with them. We're all going to be at different stages, and that's okay, because like even for me, okay, we're coming up on April 8th, will be 8 years. And it is a really weird time because it's the 8th year on April 8th during a full moon, new moon eclipse. Weird. I think that's why my emotions are all over the place. But anyway, so we want it to be uplifting, and hopefully we've talked about bringing maybe doing some art therapy, something, different things that we could do, even as a group, as we talk about what we're dealing with in the moment that we're in it, all at different stages, not to tell each other what to do, but to help each other. That's what we want to do, and make it positive, because Lordy knows that this is, been through some bad shit in my life, but this by far tops it all. And the 8 years that since I've been dealing with this, and the heartache and the pain, and it's just, I've got to figure out how to release some of it. It's not all ever going to go away for anybody. Any tragic, traumatic event that a person goes through, I really, for most people, I would say, I'm not going to say all, because I know that's not true. It's something that never goes away. It doesn't. You'll learn to maybe integrate it into your life, into your feelings, into what you have to do every day to just survive. But it's something that is always, always, always going to be a part of you from here until it's your turn. So we want to help people and be there for them, and not have to, don't suffer in silence, because like we have said a lot through this show over the last 3 years, silence kills. And it's not only what happens with the initial suicide, but it's with the lost survivors also, because we are all at a much higher risk for suicide than the general public because of this traumatic event. I'm, knock on wood, fortunate that I still have kept most of, not all, my positive outlook on life. Bobby used to say I saw everything through rose-colored glasses, even if it was something bad. It really wasn't really that bad, except for one other event in my life, but that's something else. But anyways, but this time was this was different. This took me to my knees, as it does most people, and it is hard to. It's kind of like reinventing your life, because you are not the same person. You never will be. But we can learn different ways. It's going to be different for everybody. I have found, this is what I've been doing. I mentioned, we've been off the air for about 4 months, and I'd been doing a lot of work on myself personally, which has really been like a 2-year thing, but more intense since we weren't doing the show. And I still do it, and I still have a long, long ways to go, but I know that it's helped. I have been listening to other podcasts real regularly. One is that I started listening to. I don't know if it was first. Eddie Pinero. His stuff is really inspirational. I think his is The World Within, and I'll just put it on loop. I even went as far as, and I don't even like doing this, but I paid for YouTube Premium, so I didn't have to get the commercials, because I'd be either sitting in my office working or working in the gallery, and there'd go to a commercial, and I'd have to go and skip the commercial, and now I don't have to do that anymore. It'll just play, and that's been extremely helpful. And also listening to Mel Robbins, that's been really, really helpful. And there's a couple others that I'm working on. I need to get more information and experience with them. One of them has they all have books. I don't know if Eddie has a book, but I know Mel has a couple books, and this other one that I'm listening to, I need to do the work. So, and then there's a couple other stuff. What is it? Grief yoga, and there's a second portion to that. And so, as I get more confident in what I'm doing with myself, then I can bring that to you guys and guide you in some other directions. I think grief yoga I had mentioned before, probably way back in another episode. But again, I'm still learning it, and I want to learn it and know that it's good for me. It may not be, something for everybody, but it'll be something for somebody. So that's the goal. Make it a little bit more positive, and we can live through this. And I know now I probably wouldn't have said this 4 or 5 years ago. I really truly believe we can live a happy and I don't know, there's so many adjectives that I could add to that, but have a better life again. That's my goal. So one of the things too that started happening just before we took a little break is I had a gal contact me. Actually, I contacted her. I saw a thing on Facebook. She wanted somebody to make pillows out of her brother's blanket. And what it was is her brother had taken his life back in, I don't know, 2010 or somewhere around there. And there were 3 sisters and a mother left behind. And so I contacted her and I said, I think I can do this for you. I do know how to sew. And so she brought the blanket to me. And also the mom is going through, she has cancer, so she's going through chemotherapy treatments. So I made 3, I don't know, 14 by 14 pillows for them out of the blanket. And I forgot to get the picture for this, but I'll put it up on the Facebook page. And next week, I'll see if I can have the picture for the show. And then I made one of those long skinny blankets, or not blankets, pillows for the mom, for her to take to her chemotherapy treatments. And the one sister, she sent me a picture of her mom holding the pillow, and it was really cool. So we had enough left over that there were 3 nephews, and these nephews weren't, I think one was born maybe before the uncle died, but they didn't know him. And so we made 3 smaller pillows for the nephews for Christmas. And that was their Christmas. So while I was doing this, I still have shirts of Bobby's. I have his t-shirts, and that's going to be another big project. But I was looking for different things to help out with this project. And so I found where to make a pillow out of a shirt, like a work shirt or a flannel shirt. So I had Bobby's work shirt from the gallery, and let's see how well this works there. And so I made a pillow out of his work shirt. Let's see. There we go. And this is my favorite pillow. This is what I hug at night. So these are things that we can do also to help loss survivors. It's part of, and I've renamed it a couple times. It was first it was Hope Scholarship. Now I don't know. I renamed it something else. Hope Fund to help loss survivors. I don't know. I still haven't come up with a perfect name for this part of the program, which is also part of the program that we want to help loss survivors, like just to help them do some things that they just don't feel like doing. And mostly it's early on after a suicide, getting a haircut, maybe going to a chiropractor, having, some help done around their yard, or have some help, how a housekeeper come in and just do a good clean sweep of the house. Things that, especially in the beginning, and really, quite frankly, even still 8 years later, sometimes I don't feel like doing, is just these little everyday things that you just don't feel up to it. So that's one of our other programs. So I'll have pictures of these on the Facebook page and the website. I think I already put pictures on the Facebook page of the pillows for that family. But I'll do it again so it's kind of refreshed. So one thing I really like too about doing these shows now is we cut the time down a little bit, like almost in half. So I can bring you information like quicker, keep it happier, maybe a little upbeat. We've got so many things in the irons coming up. Art for Hope, we had our volunteer meeting. So that's going to be coming up. So one of the pieces of artwork, we're going to have to do this fast because, again, I'm going to do it like I did last time. We have one of the pieces of artwork, Can You See the Truth, which actually is hanging on the wall behind me, but it's a little up higher. This is a large piece, like 25 by 54 or 51 inches, gallery wrap on canvas. So that's one of the pieces that are available. So we always want to give something encouraging. There are losses that rearrange the world, deaths that change the way you see everything, grief that tears everything down, pain that transports you to an entirely different universe, even while everyone else thinks nothing has really changed. Please remember to put the phone numbers in your phone. 988 is the easiest number to remember. And even on that, veterans press 1. Keep these in your phone. You never know when you're going to need them. And always remember, there's always hope. I truly believe that. I have to live it every day for me and for you. Thank you.